guys, I'm glad you're with me today. We're gonna center a whole look around a viral lipstick right now. It's really funny what has happened with this lipstick from L'Oreal called Ballerina Shoes. It's not a brand new lipstick, it's been around for a long time, but there is a creator on TikTok. Her name is Hailey Sluss, and she's beautiful. And she's always using this as part of her lip combo. Well, it's caught on, and this frosty, old school light pink lip has just really gone viral. And it's funny what the response is, because I think some people might grab it and be like putting it on just on its own and thinking like, okay, well that's not for me at all. You can see the light pink frostiness. It just wants to catch the light constantly. So it's the type of thing that can look really pretty as part of an ensemble cast of lip products, you know? For me, it's a really pretty kind of like spotlighting thing, but definitely worn alongside some lip liner that's a little bit deeper, may even throw a gloss on top if I want to. And Hailey Sluss is doing the same, but you'll have people hating on this because it's like, wow, that's a frosty pink lip. Yes, it definitely is if you're just gonna wear it as is, but it can be super pretty. And I think it's fun that something's getting popular that's not just, you know, a basic nude or dusty rose. And it is from the drugstore. So what I'm gonna do today is do a cheek, eye, and that lip, make it all coordinated, make this be kind of my winter pink look. And yeah, I think it's going to be really fun. So I'll let you in on what I already have on my face. I'm wearing Revlon Color Stay Foundation today, and I had tried this out randomly like last week. Not tried it out. I knew how it worked on me. I hadn't used it in a bit. My shade in this is 295 Dune. And this is the normal to dry skin formula, and I was just reminded of how much I love Revlon Color Stay. I've used this a handful of times since like my short video where I was applying that. I also tried my e.l.f. Soft Glam Satin Concealer with no corrector paired with it. 14 Fair Cool is that shade. Coverage is pretty good, but I can kind of see what they mean, how it's not a totally full coverage. They call it medium buildable coverage. It still did a good job on its own. Like, I don't think it absolutely requires a correcting, brightening step underneath for me to be satisfied, but it's definitely doing a little bit less than camo concealer, but that's probably what makes a good brand. That's what makes a solid concealer environment in a brand, is having more than just one formula people can choose from. So this will be the slightly lighter coverage, more lightweight concealer offering from e.l.f. I tried to take all the lightweight out of it I could, and I put Airspun on top of it though. I just love this powder, and I feel like as I live in my makeup throughout the day, my look keeps getting better when I've got that on. It's a weird little phenomenon, but I always notice it with this product. And then for my contour, I use the Rimmel Multitasker in the shade Tan, so that's around my hairline, cheekbones, and then warmed up a little bit more with City Bronzer in 300. Now we're gonna think about the cheek, and again, it's all centering around this light pinky shade. I know what I'm gonna do for the eyes as well. And the cheek, I feel like I haven't used any Rare Beauty in a while, so I'm gonna try that. I've got this one called Encourage. I think it might have come in a holiday set or something in years past, but think like mauve-y toned liquid blush. And then I've got an idea to layer on top of that to bring a bit more life and kind of brighten it up some. But blending that out with my Sephora 56. I have not reached for a Rare Beauty blush in a long time. That's really pretty. Just tapping it on in. Oh, I love that color. Okay, apparently this is a shade that's always available. And then when I've been thinking of like a light pink look or coordinating with the Ballerina Shoes lipstick, a cool pinky blush is always fun to throw in the mix. So this is my Too Faced Cloud Crush. This is the one called Candy Clouds. So any light, cool pinky blush you have, it doesn't have to be exactly this, but I'm just gonna put this kind of like upper outer part. I haven't done this particular pairing before, but I'm just adding that in. I love the smell of these blushes, by the way. What even is that? If you own one of those, like, how would you describe it? I don't know if it's sweet or fresh or some combination of those two vibes. Okay, cute. I think since the lip is gonna be a little bit frosty, let's put a little bit of shine on the cheeks too. I'm gonna take the pinky tone shade, the new e.l.f. highlighter. I think it's gonna be a super similar effect to that lightest one that I used in my last e.l.f. video. But let's just see. I love the texture of these. They are not too much. They're not leaving us like super metallic, like you get up close and you don't like the look of your face. Not that type of feeling. I'm into it. So I would say use what you got on that cheek, but I think this is gonna mesh well. Then we're gonna do our eye look, and I am using my Sydney Grace Unveiled palette, and they have this perfect like pinky row in the top. But again, I encourage you to use what you have. Think about what palettes you have that are rooted in maybe a berry look and have some medium pinks and maybe a light pinky tone shimmer. I'm gonna use my Milani eyeshadow primer. As I shoot this, it is Tuesday. I'm not certain when I'll end up posting it because, you know, my normal video posting schedule would be Thursday, and that's Christmas. So I'm not sure when I'm going to squeeze this in, or really the editing time to finish this video. We did so much holiday fun stuff the other day. Nana came over and we made the iconic Chex Mix that has been in her family for decades. Her grandma made it. We have enhanced that recipe over the years. Like, she has so many recipe cards where we've kind of like changed it, sort of leveled it up as time has gone on. And so that was really fun. And then I don't know where my stamina came from, but I did fall asleep at like 8 o'clock. We made a gingerbread train, which was kind of hard. The kids did a great job decorating their panels, but sticking them together was kind of tricky. Somehow in the end it held together. And then we made some of those ranch crackers. Guys, this is the easiest thing to make. If you want to make something a little bit like a savory snack, if you're over having 100% sweets in your house this time of year, make these seasoned crackers. They're so good. It involves a packet of ranch, some other seasonings, butter. Kids can make them with you. When they come fresh out of the oven and they're warm, they're just like insanely good. I'll put the recipe I used down below. But anyway, we're gonna do this pinky tone look. I'm gonna start out by taking this shade called Happy Wedding Day. This is a palette that was created by bridal makeup artist Kendra Matthews, and she's awesome. She just seems like an amazing person. You know, the name of the palette is Unveiled. This definitely contains some bridal appropriate looks, and I love how as you look side to side, you can see there's a rosy look, there's a brownish look, there's a cool neutral look, and all the rich tones that I would want to have in a palette. So Happy Wedding Day is a matte, and it's fairly light, but I like to initially get it in the crease and then just kind of let it travel up a little bit. This is part of what is going to make this eye look really coordinate, is what can be seen above the eye, above the lash line and the lashes. You want to see a little bit of some actual pinkiness. So that's why I'm really taking my time with this shade, working it up. And then we can add to that. I'm going to take the one called Honeymoon Phase right over here. This pink is going to go a little bit more peachy than we want, the one called Blushing Bride. We're trying to keep it a little bit cooler. So I'm going here, same brush, and I'm gonna just start that in my crease. I'm gonna deepen up our color tone a little bit. If you've never used a Sydney Grace palette, the textures are impeccable on mattes and shimmers. And I would say this palette would be a great place to start. And I am using the light variation. There is a darker one, and that difference doesn't greatly change the content of the palette. It just makes some of the basic shades a little bit deeper and just even more suitable for a deeper skin tone. So that's another just cool and smart, unique thing that Sydney Grace does with palettes. Just working that shade in. Again, raise it up as much as you want, as much pink as you want to see out of the eyes. You just kind of got to let it come up above that lid space, above the crease, so we can actually see that. Okay, and then I'm taking Maid of Honor, which is right down here at the end. You could choose one of the other deeper shades if you didn't feel like working in a berry, but you know, I'm always going to be team berry when I've got it. I'm going to pat that on my outer corner, because part of the key to this look is, even though we're thinking light pink, we're spotlighting light pink, what makes the light pink look good is contrast. Just like on the lips, contrast is going to help that lipstick really look its best and make the most sense on the face. And lighter pink on the eyes paired with this pretty berry intensity, everything's going to come together to look its best with this method. So I'm patting that shade on. I'm getting it on my outer lid. Now it can be intense, so I do build a little by little. It's easier to add than blend away. This brush is nice about kind of immediately getting that shade into your crease just by the shape of the brush. And then of course I'm pulling in the Profusion small pointed brush. I'm going to go into Honeymoon Phase again. Little step lighter. And I'm going to use that to just like blend and buff over the darker shade as it comes up. See what I mean? Like it just does a nice softening. If I were a bride again, I tell you. I'd be saying, can I have the top row of that palette? See the easy softening that's taking place? It's so easy. When you come back after putting in a dark shade, I'm adding just a little bit more of the darkness right in here in the very crease area. But once you put that on, coming in and using a step lighter shade for blending makes it very easy on you. Okay, there we are. Everything's looking really good. And now we're taking our Morphe M302 and we're gonna go into this one called High Bride. It's a beautiful, like slightly pinky toned shimmer. And that's what's gonna pop on the inner part of the lid. It's super shiny. It's really pretty. It definitely adheres and wears well. And I'm just gonna keep adding it gently and let it somewhat cross over what else is on my lid. And I might come back in with a little bit more of that honeymoon phase color, that mauve. I might layer back in that way just because I sometimes like to do that. And this is a perfect shade too to take around the inner corner if you want more brightness there. Look at that. I love the way this row comes together. I'm going to pick up with that same brush a little bit more of honeymoon phase. That's going to be our little crossover. Very easily make everything look blended. I'm seeing maybe just a teensy bit of fallout on the top of the cheeks, so take a small fine brush and just dust that away a little bit. Maid of Honor again. There's a beautiful big mirror in these palettes too, which I love. Just use that Profusion small pointed brush like a little smudger on the outer part of the lower lash line. Immediately the green in my eyes comes out more. Once the berry stuff kind of comes full circle around my eye. I've got this pencil liner from NYX called Epic Wear. The shade is Deepest Brown. I'm thinking about doing just a little bit of some brown pencil liner along the upper lash line. My main fave for a deep brown pencil is that Profusion Seamless Strokes, but it's going on really well. Okay, I'm going to throw on some mascara, my friends, and then we will put this lip together. I got my mascara on. I used this Maybelline Lash Sensational Body, which is not my fave. It's, I guess, my newest mascara that I have. It takes so much building to get a look of body on your lashes, but after 3 to 4 coats, I guess I've reached my end result for that, and I used e.l.f. Lash Extender on the lower lashes. Now for the lips. As I said with the Ballerina Shoes lipstick, it benefits from having a deeper lip liner paired with it. It looks really pretty paired with Color Stay lip liner in Nude. Today I'm going to lean a little bit more into the pinky tone by using a mauve lip liner. This is Catrice Plumping Lip Liner. The shade is Cheers to Life, one of my faves from this line. This lasts so well. Love this formula. It's not really plumping though, just saying, but wear time is exceptional. So I'm basically filling in my lips with this. Perhaps going a little lighter on the center part of the lower lip. Okay, there we go. Then take your Ballerina Shoes lipstick, this frosty pink lipstick. Maybe you don't have this exact shade, but you've got something like this lingering in the back of a drawer somewhere. This one, L'Oreal, you know, oops, I just touched the bottom of my nose with it. You know there's a smell with these L'Oreal lipsticks, by the way. But start layering that on and look, the frost. It's just going to be kind of frosty, you know? Do you like it? Do you not like it? Also might come in, back in over top, and you can isolate that frostiness as much as you want. Okay, this is where the customization of it all comes in. But I feel like the eye, lip, and cheek are actually coordinated really nicely. And then another thing you can do is top with a gloss. It's interesting what a gloss does on top of a frosty lipstick. You know, you can take glosses that have a frost in themselves and really exaggerate your frostiness, or just take a shiny gloss or one with a teeny bit of glimmer. This is Piggy Bank from e.l.f., the plumping line. And it can actually lessen the frostiness by way of adding more shine. I like just a little bit of this in the center. It's fun. I would love to know what you think. Have you gotten back into this lipstick? Are you totally uninterested in this trend? I really just like using that as the catalyst for an entire like pinky toned look. I mean, you could pair this in with brown eyeshadow and whatever, but we're making a whole event out of it here and I love it. So thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. Let me know any other like monochromatic tones you think would be pretty for looks like this, where we just kind of focus on cheek, eye, lip, and how we can create a fun, harmonious look. Hope you're having a great day and I will see you again soon. I love you. Bye.